Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a wonderful day. As always, leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing does help the channel and it helps with my algorithm. Always appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. And without further ado, yes, let's jump right into it. The largest crypto exchange in the United States, it is called Coinbase, was notified on Friday of a potential bug on their trading platform. An ethical hacker by the Twitter pseudonym Tree of Alpha notified the exchange of the issue at around 6 p.m. At around 6 p.m., Tree of Alpha took to Twitter to request contact with the development team at Coinbase or even the CEO. The ethical hacker said that a potential exploit had been discovered which could have had disastrous market implications. It was stated that a HackerOne report was to be submitted, but the scale of the potential damage meant that it could not wait, he said. Anyone here can get me a direct line with someone at Coinbase, preferably management or dev team, possibly Brian Armstrong himself. I'm submitting a HackerOne report, but I'm afraid this cannot wait. Can't say much more. This is potentially market nuking, end quote. At around 8 p.m. UTC, Coinbase support on their official Twitter handle revealed that they were shutting down their newly released advanced trading platform for technical reasons. However, the exchange noted that existing orders could be canceled during the period, though users would not be able to place new orders. So it was never, I believe, revealed exactly what happened. More so that there was something that this person found that could have been absolutely detrimental to the entirety of the cryptocurrency market. What it was, we don't know. But apparently, even if you read through many of the conversations, the guy tried to calm people's fears and basically say, hey, you know, it's not that bad. Don't even worry. Cryptocurrency market's going to be kind of cool. But I think the fact that there was clearly a huge amount of panic in the background and announcing that something is potentially market nuking probably tells me that something absolutely insane was happening in the background. And I'll be completely honest, I'd rather not know what the potential issue could have been, because I think it just simply would have worried a lot more people for an extended period of time. However, we've had situations before in the past. You might remember this from 2019. Not even 2020. It was definitely 2019, where we had a couple of situations where Binance and Coinbase were overloaded. Their systems were, taking on too much. There were too many people trying to join the market. They hadn't expanded as much as people had thought they would have expanded at that point for their systems. And every time, let's say if Coinbase went down for about a good hour or two, prices on every other crypto exchange would nearly collapse. I mean, it looked really, everyone was kind of like, what happened? And then you had to read the news to find that it was just Coinbase going offline for a little bit. It happened way too many times one year. We also had a conversation about that because I was like, twice is understandable. 8 times in a year? That just sounds like manipulation to me. And then it started happening on Binance as well, where their systems were overloaded. I remember, I think one time they announced that they were going to go down for 2 hours to do upgrades. And then I think it lasted like 19 hours and everyone completely freaked out. So whatever it was, it did not happen. Whoever you are, Tree of Alpha, thank you for figuring this out. That always makes me wonder how many other crazy things are happening behind the scenes that could be potentially market nuking that we simply don't know about. Anyway, that's the disaster averted thanks to an ethical hacker news. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, Ricardo Salinas Pliego, president of the Salinas Group, one of the Electra Group stores, hinted at the possibility of its shop selling Bitcoin. The executive stated that due to the regulations of the Central Bank of Mexico, his company cannot implement cryptocurrency integration into the banking app. However, he did point out that Electra could sell Bitcoin as it is a commercial institution. One of the richest men in Mexico. I think the last time we spoke about this guy, he came out in full support of Bitcoin. I think it was the beginning of 2020 or maybe the end of 2019. I think even in the news, it was really weird because wherever his assets are, he was listed as the second richest man in Mexico, and then his assets would go down, and it became, the rich, so it was flipping between the first and second richest man in Mexico. He's still rich, so who actually cares? One of the richest men in Mexico and president of the Salinas Group mentioned the possibility of selling Bitcoin in his popular Electra Group department stores. The remarks were made in a recent TikTok video, where Salinas commented on the difficulties of including Bitcoin in different services due to the regulations of the Central Bank of Mexico. He said, "The issue with the Banco Azteca app is that the regulatory pundits won't let us. The Bank of Mexico won't let us, but they're all of them." Okay. The Ministry of Finance, the National Banking Commission, the government officials won't let us. This is also just a little side note. There are two other countries right now. One begins with a T and one begins with an H. I won't say their names. However, both of these countries are currently in a situation where leaders are coming to the conclusion that their local now, and I'm not making any jokes, their actual local currencies are terrible. One of them you've heard about recently in the last year, complete collapse, bam, fell down to the ground. Everyone's like, what? I can't believe it. The price almost near zero. And the other one, their exchange rate next to the euro and to the dollar and to the anything else is also terrible as well. And the local, within that country, the central banks and other government officials are coming out now saying that cryptocurrencies are terrible, they're dangerous. But when you look at it, it's because the amount of people in these countries who are adopting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as a hedge against the terrible currencies that they're in kind of begins to make a lot of sense. So we are now seeing a bit more pushback from governments who are like, hey, no, this is now a problem. Remember years ago when cryptocurrencies were simply not a problem? It's because all the banks and institutions and hedge funds and retirement funds are now deep in the cryptocurrency space. Governments know this, and I think they're either trying to stop it or trying to, my opinion, keep prices down low enough so that they can accumulate more. So yeah, I think we also had news. I think the other similar news to this before was that in Brazil, one of the other mega store corporations, malls, was also trying to include cryptocurrency payments and also being able to buy Bitcoin as well. I hope it's simple. I don't know if it's going to be as simple as going to the cash register and we're like, hey, give me 1 million Satoshis. Or like, remember I told you before, so like in France, if you want to buy Bitcoin, it's the weirdest thing in the entire world. I went into the store and you have to like buy a card and then download an app and then give the guy money and then you take the number from the card and then put it onto the app. But I wasn't sure if I could take the crypto off. It was just kind of all over the place. Anyway, that's the soon might being able to buy Bitcoin as another investment option from Electra, which could be nice because, kind of weird that everyone is, all the government leaders are so against this new form of investing. But there are no restrictions on any other, real estate, gold, silver, stocks, bonds. Those are all okay, even though people lose money in those all the time. Anyway, that's the Mexico news. And yeah, let's move on. Also, in a bit of news I missed, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Walmart beats, Ethereum beats out Walmart. There we go. And MasterCard to become the 25 largest asset in the world. And then trailing right behind that, it says Bitcoin overtakes Nvidia. To enter the top 10 global crypto or assets by market cap, Ethereum is now number 24. Over the last couple of years, one of the major things that usually made into the cryptocurrency news was exactly how large Bitcoin was. How quick could it surpass silver? And eventually, the idea being gold. If Bitcoin ever passes gold, that's going to kind of be the end of every other asset because Bitcoin will basically continue rising forever and ever and ever. Bringing it on back, we've seen so much movements in these markets, especially even understanding that this is where Bitcoin currently is right now. And Bitcoin was before at 70,000 US dollars. So this is my opinion, just given all of the recent movements in the market, the energy that we're seeing, the amount of people who are mining Bitcoin, the accumulation. For those of you who might have missed it over the course of the week, the amount of Bitcoin currently that's left for you to buy on cryptocurrency exchanges is only 10% of all the Bitcoin in the world. And that number continues to decrease every single day. So I think at some point we will see Bitcoin higher than Microsoft and Apple. And I think that is kind of the point of no return as far as these companies will then be forced to accept it as a payment option, which we've already kind of had news about before. There are two charts here. I made them larger because I didn't expect you to strain your eyes for the other ones. Yeah, quite a fascinating time. And this is with like Bitcoin adoption being in 4% of the world's population. Just imagine when banks finally announced that after the last 3 years, they've been accumulating tons of Bitcoin, as have countries and all these other rich people who don't make it into the news. Here's the second one right here, with Ethereum being at number 24, passing by Procter & Gamble, Walmart, Home Depot, MasterCard, Nestle, and even Alibaba. Yeah, crazy times to be an investor. And yeah, let's move on. And to finish things off, I guess this goes perfectly with accumulation news. It says, all things have their humble beginnings. In 2010, the first Bitcoin mining project was created in Prague. Wow, okay. And was simply called Bitcoin.cz. Alrighty. Soon afterwards, founder Mark Slush Palatinas decided to move on to other ventures and created Trezor. Fascinating. As a result, Brains, a company doing embedded Linux development and research, took over the mining pool and renamed it into Slush. Fast forward to now, Slush Pool has grown to become one of the biggest Bitcoin mining pools. There are now over 15,000 users in the space, with its total hash rate accounting for 5 to 8% of the overall Bitcoin network. The company derives 100% of its income from Bitcoin and charges a 2.5% commission for its mining firmware. And then they have some other names here. Incredible. One of the first aspects discussed as to why firmware is so critical in the process, to why, my gosh, these names. CSES gave the example of grid balancing in Texas. He explained, you turn on the mining machine when there's a lot of electricity in the grid, but you might have to turn them off in milliseconds when demand is high from the households, without having to read the entirety of their history. They have mined 1.3 million Bitcoin since they first started. That is absolutely insane. And I wonder, and I'm pretty sure we actually probably know exactly how much Bitcoin they also are holding themselves. When we go over the discussions many times, are those are hens. Those are hens that are sitting on top of golden eggs, which I assume are supposed to be Bitcoin. Got it. When we go over the idea of these companies who are mining cryptocurrencies, usually Bitcoin in the discussion, as far as them selling it, they usually don't sell it. So behind the scenes, they are the largest creators of Bitcoin, and also are probably holding on to a very large stash as well. So I thought this was fascinating because I think a lot of times when people think about Bitcoin out there, it's simply like what's on the cryptocurrency exchanges, but don't forget the stuff that's on the crypto exchanges comes from the people who are mining it. Remember we saw the charts a couple of days ago that the people who are mining around the world are now holding on very heavily to their Bitcoin and are even now accumulating even more, which means they're not selling to cryptocurrency exchanges, which means the amount on cryptocurrency exchanges continues to go down, which means there's less for you and other people to actually buy any Bitcoin in the market, which causes the price to increase. Supply and demand. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, 1.3 million Bitcoin in 12 years. In Sanato. Let's move on. Yeah. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Find something nice to do. Go outside and go for a walk. I don't know what people, I have no idea. Just do something that you find fun. Invite somebody over, get a pizza or some ice cream, or this bus is empty. Yes, I hope you'll enjoy it. Hope you'll have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.